Ohayou gozaimasu, watashi wa FiyahKitteh, and welcome back to my diary of Animal Crossing New Leaf. Well, as always, let's start without wasting too much time. Monday! There's not much to say really, everything still looks the same except I have way more flowers, but other than that, let's go. So, we had Katie drop by again, or rather, not in my town, but in Slim's town, and he brought her over to me. Because we usually just bring her back and forth. It's kind of weird in a way. She always says, I'm curious to see what town so-and-so is all about, but it's kind of funny if you just bring her back and forth, she's still gonna say the same. It doesn't really matter. I used to think that you have to bring her to a different town every time, and after, let's say, 3 or 5 times, you can bring her back to, you know, whatever town was first, but nope, doesn't matter. We just bring her back and forth, really. That's neat. Then it was Gulliver. He's like, no school today again. It's neat. He just, again, as I said, appears every once in a while. Just check your beaches. And he's eventually gonna be there at some point. He wanted to go to Kenya this time, apparently. I don't know exactly anymore what the description was, but I just took a shot of him saying, yeah, I'm going to Kenya, pretty much. So, there you go. Then I came back from the island, and the captain was being all like, "Perhaps I'll be getting a touch of the sea madness, but did you get even cuter on the way over?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you're a weirdo, but in a good way, in all the right ways, pretty much." Well, that was day 1. There's no catches of the day and nothing, so let's move on to the next day. Happy birthday, Lopez! Yep, it was a birthday. You usually get a letter a whole bunch of days before, actually. Usually, I don't know exactly how many days before, but it feels like it's at least a week, maybe even like 10 days or up to 2 weeks. I feel like I usually just keep those letters in my personal storage, as in on me, so I don't forget, but sometimes it happens anyways, so oops. Whatever, I just make sure I have a gift every time, so that's cool. We learned the love joke from Shrunk. I believe that's just the heart that floats over your head. So yeah, it's really neat though. You're gonna need it a lot, probably. That's pretty much it for the second day, so let's move on to Wednesday, which, again, not much to say about this screenshot. I usually just use them as transitions, really, so that's pretty much all it is. So, Bertha finally moved out. If you remember, I tried to get rid of her, which didn't really work because pushing her into pits and whatever just didn't do it. She's just decided to randomly leave in this case, but as I said, I figured out that if you don't talk to people for about 2 weeks, they just move away. Sometimes they don't even tell you, and you just find out when you start your game, because Izzy's gonna be like, oh, person so-and-so is moving out, and I'm like, what? That's why I usually get kind of paranoid, and why I talk to people in my village every day, just to make sure they don't, you know, change their mind and move out without me actually knowing. It's kind of stressful a little bit sometimes, because I don't want people to move out anymore at this point, you know. So yeah, she wanted to go, and I'm like, yeah, okay, bye, yo. So that's pretty much it. Then we learned the inspiration joke. I'm not even sure anymore. I think that's what he's doing right now. Maybe, but don't hold me to it. It could be something completely else. I honestly, never really tried them out. I just collected them, and that's about it. I tried them out way later, you know, during conversations with friends, obviously, but I never paid attention to what is called what, so I just used it based on the little icon that there is, and, you know, if it fits the situation. I didn't pay attention to the name. Then we had this little neat, funny screenshot. Again, I sometimes just take random shots like that if there's something funny there. I try it on purpose and just take a shot and usually put it on Twitter, so yeah. That's pretty much it for that day, so Thursday! I still look friggin' tan as hell, and it's bothering me so much. I tried to get rid of that friggin' tan by not really going to the island anymore, but sometimes you just have to. Especially if you collect mermaid furniture. Yep. I had to take a screenshot of this because he's like, ha, get it? For Pete's sake, because of my name. He's like explaining the joke, and that's super lame, honestly, but whatever, I guess they had to make sure everybody gets the joke. He's a dummy. This looks kind of funny because it looks like I have ears, but pretty much what I wanted to say here is just, yeah, look, Katie showed up again. Honestly, I feel like if you bring Katie over to somebody's town, she shows up usually a few days after that at the most. So you just bring her back to the other town. It's kind of cool if you want to farm or collect all of the items she gives you. I was actually lucky, and the first item Katie gave to me was actually her picture. I know people who've had her over a bunch of times not by now, but didn't get the picture yet still, so I guess I was lucky. So we learned the outrage joke, because why not? Being angry is great. Actually, the outrage or the angry animations are pretty funny, not gonna lie, so get it if you can. I also found this neat little frog costume. It looks so freaking silly, and I don't know who would even wear that, because it just looks weird when your character doesn't have any hair and nothing. It's just weird in a way. But, you know, maybe people like it, maybe people like frogs. It's definitely a cool thing for Halloween or so, like if you wear a costume like that. It's just a day out of the year or so. But, you know, that's just my opinion, so. We also finished the police station finally. So I took a screenshot of that. It was already kind of late if you see that on the picture. And those patterns on the ground were actually, what can I call them? Spacers or space keepers or reservations or whatever you want to call it. It kind of helped me to map out my town a little better, so I had them all over my floor just to keep track of where I wanted to not put anything, pretty much. So there you go, in case you were wondering. I went to the island and I played Hop to It Bug Hunt. I think it's about grasshoppers, if you can figure it out by yourself. And I played the Elite Item Matching Tour, which again, it's that kind of memory thing where you dig stuff up. And I also played the official Balloon Hunt Tour. I'm actually not sure if playing these minigames with the balloon popping counts for your medal. I'm assuming not, but I have no idea. I don't have confirmation about that. So, I don't know. Well, then we skip to the next day, which once again has no screenshot. It happens. But I started out with having a little fortune cookie, and I actually had a prize. Power is often fleeting, number 23, which is a superstar. I know I said I wasn't too much into collecting the Nintendo items, but actually I did keep this one because I like stars. Plus, it's really cool if you put it in your house. It's gonna glow a little bit and stuff. I mean, it's the usual invincibility star, obviously, but if you actually press it, quote unquote, it makes the actual star power music, and it's so cool. It just loops forever until you turn it off again, pretty much like your music if you have a record player or something. So there you go. I played the Elite Gardening Tour again because, well, flowers, as you saw. And the official gardening tour because more flowers. I don't even know how many freaking trips I took back and forth between my town and the island just to pick up flowers. A lot, honestly, a lot. Like, sometimes that's all I would do all day, pretty much. Then, Mr. Captain was like, "So, Kitty, ever been in love?" Well, what am I supposed to answer? Sometimes I wish you could answer, actually, but nope, fortunately you can't. I would have stories to tell this guy. He'd be excited and happy, and I don't know. Then again, sometimes I wonder if he likes hearing himself talk more than listening. I don't know. You get that impression sometimes with how he reacts if you cut off his singing, so, you know. Oh, and we're already at the weekend, so Saturday. Not much to say to this screen, so let's move on. I had Puddles being sick, and usually when one of my villagers is sick, I obviously go and bring him some medicine, him or her. Medicine costs 400 bells. I don't think I ever said that. Sometimes, this is what I figured out anyways, sometimes people aren't just sick for only one day. Sometimes they stay sick for like 3 days or something, and that's just so weird because that's freaking crazy. And even though we bring them medicine every day, it just takes a while, and I'm like, man, get better already. I miss talking to you, and I miss seeing you outside and whatnot. I also figured out that if you have your gate open and you have company over, or just if your gate's open, you cannot go visit the sick person. There's just gonna be a note at the door pretty much saying, I'm sick, stay out. Pretty much. I did not know that until just recently, so figured I'd mention that. I feel a little better already, she says. Well, that's good. I was happy. She was the first person to ever get sick in my town. I don't think you can get sick, so in a way that would be cool though, if you got sick and one of your villagers came by and would just bring you medicine. That would be super neat, but nope, I guess it's a little too complex. Alright, we learned the delight joke. Again, I don't like calling these jokes because they're more like stories or anecdotes or whatever, but we'll just go with it. Why not? And I got another friggin' fortune cookie. A door that does not open is not closed to you. It only needs a key. Number 49, which is the hero's boots. That is actually another one of the things, or of the sets that I'm collecting from the Nintendo series. The Zelda stuff, or rather the Link stuff. Hero's boots, hero's... I'm not sure if it's called uniform, or whatever it's called, but, that. So far, I still only have the boots, though. It's hard to get the other ones. They're probably rare or something. And again, I don't have a lot of play coins to spend in general, so maybe that's it. More wisdom from the captain. Heh, you got a real style, or your own, don't you? Okay, I guess so. Is that a compliment? Is that supposed to be a compliment? I don't know. It's hard to tell, but I'm assuming so because it's captain. So let's just assume it is because it's him, huh? Flirty and whatnot. Well, in any case, moving on to Sunday, and again, nothing much to say here. We learned the curiosity joke, and I think that was just the question mark that appears over your head. But again, don't hold me to it. My brain is not the best. This was also the first time I actually bought turnips. Mostly not even to sell them. More just to get the ant and the fly. If you let them rot on the ground for a week pretty much, you can catch flies and ants. I believe that's all year round, so there you go. Then we have Cyrano. You know what? I think that sounds exactly like you. He gave me another nickname, except this time I said, no, you're crazy, I don't like your nickname. And I had him call me Van instead. Because that's what people call me, so. That's what you can do, by the way. If you don't like the nickname, you can say, nah, I don't like it, and then you can input something of your own. So, it's pretty cool. In any case, that was pretty much it for this week. It's getting short and simple, which, is not a bad thing. If anything, that's pretty good, because I don't want you guys to sit here for like 2 hours to see what happened during the week. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you had fun anyway, even though it's getting a little shorter. Or maybe that's exactly why you had more fun. I don't know. And as always, this Let's Play is affiliated and associated with a lot of the items in my shop. If you buy them, 50% of whatever it costs goes to charity. The rest goes to, bills for the materials I used. And that's pretty much it. So if you can, go check it or spread it or do both. whatever you would like. Other than that, as always, thanks for watching, thanks for joining, and I'll see you next time. Bye, yo!